I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
The podcast that finishes your workday in a very Red Raider way. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Solving life's mysteries one at a time.
Sometimes you just forget things that have just popped out of your mouth. And yeah, that's Brennan's reminder there.
What?
Words, Gus.
Dang.
This is Tech Talk on Double T 97.3.
I just wanted to wait till he said the line, ride the tiger. I just think it's a very funny line. Dangerous if you're at the zoo and you will get kicked out. But great line in the song. Dio. Well, did you like the Tenacious D Pick a Destiny movie?
That is the only movie I've ever walked out of in the theater.
Really?
But I've seen it since, and it was not bad.
So, was it just like...
It was
you were annoyed, or you just didn't get into it?
It was really the group of people I was with. It was not good.
Oh, so you were mad at the people, not at Jack Black. And although
they wanted to leave, and I was riding with them.
Oh,
but I wasn't. It was
a reverse kidnap.
It was a bad vibe, and it affected my viewing. Yes.
I've never walked out of a movie. I love hearing those stories. My sister walked out of a movie that she took me and my friends to, but we did not leave, and she was not allowed to leave Dodge City, Kansas without us because 45 minutes away. Yeah.
It was funny. We went up to the ticket cashier to get our money back. And
you can't do that.
It was like, you can.
Really?
Yeah, if you leave early enough. It was this little high school girl, and she was like, that movie's like halfway over or more. And we were like, yeah, we're leaving. And she was like, okay. And then she gave us our money back.
I didn't know that. That seems dumb that there's even a chance you could get your money back. Because, the theater didn't make the movie you chose to spend money on. You most likely had access to the trailer if you wanted to. That seems dumb. That seems like you shouldn't be able to do that even if you're in there for 30 seconds. Because they can't resell those tickets.
So?
Look, I'm all about movie economics, and I'm here for the big guy, not the little guy.
Yeah, what are you shilling for AMC? What's going on here?
Don't tell anybody.
What's this, Cinemark Hour with Clint?
By the way, the movie my sister walked out of was Master of Disguise.
What?
I know. How could she?
Now that is classic cinema.
Yeah. That's an all-timer. Turtle. Not turtly enough for the Turtle Club. Thomas, you ever walked out of a movie before?
No, I have not.
It's good.
What's the last movie you went to, Thomas?
Mufasa. I could have walked out of that. Goodness gracious.
Wasn't good?
I mean, it was just like... It's just like The Lion King.
Yeah, we know. We know the story.
Just different.
Yeah.
That's how they should have pitched it. It's just like The Lion King.
Listen. Just like The Lion King.
But different.
Look, if you take these two little red pills, it's going to be a lot more fun, all right? Oh, man. Red Raider basketball. Rob?
Clint?
At Kansas?
Yeah.
Robert? Saturday. Lawrence. 1 o'clock tip. How do you feel about the matchup right now? There's a lot up in the air right now. One with your own roster.
Mm-hmm. And one with Bill Self's hair. What's going on there?
It's not real.
Let's
Glued
see.
On.
Now,
or surgery on.
Now, Grant McCaslin, in his availability today, said that he would need to see Chance and Darren Williams practice Friday to see them get on the floor Saturday. And then he said, I'm getting the vibes that they're done just sitting around and watching.
Mm-hmm.
Like they both want to play, but they've been held out so far.
He has said some interesting things the past week. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
well, I guess after after the Houston game on Monday was just, I don't know. It kind of felt like he was talking through his post-game media right to Darian Williams, which was just strange.
What it felt like, yeah. Now it feels like he's talking to somebody else.
Yeah. And so it's a mystery right now, and it's not a good time to have any sort of injury mystery. Not because you got to have him for Kansas. No, you want these guys. We always say, you want to be playing your best basketball as you go into postseason play, and with that, you also want to be healthy. Now, you can't control if guys are or aren't healthy, but it's just so vague right now. I'm not overly concerned, but talk to me again after Saturday.
Yeah, you want
which will be here on Monday after that Saturday, so you can't actually talk to us.
You want to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And in that respect, you want to hold the guys out, right? To be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to be in rhythm. And then you have to play them to be in rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be cohesive and have that chemistry of playing together. You want to be not only healthy, but have the game stamina worked up, built up. You can't just not play for 3 weeks and then go play 35 minutes and be crisp.
Mm-hmm. Or at least that's not the expectation.
It's not normal. Yeah, it's not normal. Now, these college athletes sometimes are abnormal in that sense that they can do things like that.
That's true. I mean, I certainly couldn't, but I'm not in quite the shape that Chance McMillan's in. Yeah, almost, but not quite.
You can give me.
I'm almost.
He
there.
needs 2 weeks, 2 days. I need 2 years. Give me 2 years. I give you a solid 35 seconds and not 35 minutes. But
hey-o.
Chance McMillan's going out there and don't hey-o that. Chance McMillan's going out there, and you want to be healthy. You want him to play together, and you want him to get back in that rhythm together. But it's a balancing act.
Yeah.
And if you go back and listen to that Monday press conference where Grant McCasland is saying, I don't make the decisions. This is something I didn't know until today with Darian Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it all week with Chance McMillan. That felt like, hey, what are we doing with Darian? Why is Darian making that decision that day?
Mm-hmm.
Now, it feels like those two guys are done watching. Why is whoever's making those decisions making them like they're making them? Why are we holding guys out longer than we need to? I don't know. I'm just kind of talking through it. If we're reading between the lines one day, we got to do it the next day, right? So I don't quite know what's going on there.
He also noted that he would have to for both of those guys, that he need to see them at a full go to determine whether they even play at Kansas or not. And you're also an important part of the season because you're trying to stay on that 3 seed line. And you can go back to the loss at TCU, which hurt net-wise. Houston, the loss didn't hurt you all that much other than adding a loss, but analytically and anybody in the committee that was watching should not, and I don't think did, take anything away that's like, oh, man, yeah, I don't know. Losing at home? I mean, I think that they did and will take in the full consideration, but if you drop another game, I mean, even if it's at Kansas, it's just you're going to have things stack up against you that bump you down to that 4 line. I don't think, unless you had a complete meltdown and slipped up in the last 2 games, either against Colorado at home or at Arizona State, that you could tumble all the way to a 5 seed. But you're still very much in the 3 seed thick of it, so you're trying to stay in that 3 seed thick of it.
Yeah, it's weird because if you win all 3, you're probably a high 3 seed. If you lose all 3, you're probably a high 5 seed. I guess it's kind of a thin. There's a big difference there, but it's kind of a thin margin you're working with. It's a big boy right there.
Man, we're getting already like our early ridiculous numbers at the combine. The Nebraska defensive lineman?
Yeah, 6'6".
When do we get numb to these types of numbers?
288, 485.
Because it's just like more and more ridiculous every single year.
Just monsters.
They're like young Thomas Dies out there. More Tech Talk next.
The podcast that finishes your workday in a very Red Raider way. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3. Presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Solving life's mysteries one at a time.
You know, it's the Wii thing, and you watch. Yeah, no.
You seem feisty
I
today.
seem kind of 84 years old when you come to that kind of stuff. Does that Pong? Will my Pong console pick that up, Clint? I feel pretty good about myself having 2 old TVs downstairs that I can watch 2 things at once. I feel cutting edge right there, right? Don't be asking me if my Pong console is going to pick
You
up
can
the
play
Wii.
Pong on one screen, EPL on the other screen. It's a perfect night for Gus.
This is Tech Talk on Double T 97.3.
Clint, Rob, Thomas, the TLC of Raymar, CBT, CRT. How do you spell your name?
Wait, sorry, I just put my headphones on. Was that Wild Horses?
Yeah.
Yes. No, goodbye horses.
Do you want to say the quote or
Who requested that?
that counts?
Yeah, but who requested that? I need to.
I'll search it up.
Puts the lotion on the skin. Also gets the hose again. You ever seen Silence of the Lambs, Thomas? Would you walk out of that movie?
I have not seen it, but I've heard it's good.
It is
It's like
good.
a murder one, right?
Yeah,
There's some
sure.
murder,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I wouldn't walk out of it.
This on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Welcome into hour number 2 of Tech Talk. I would totally listen to Cinema Hour with Clint. Noted. I'll see if I can work that in. I have a lot of thoughts. None of them good. The Will Smith Aladdin was a dumpster fire. My 5-year-old son asked if we could leave. That's rough if the 5-year-old's like, can we get out of here? Can we ditch this? I'm done. Slick McManson said, walked out of Nacho Libre. Same deal. My ride thought it was stupid.
See, you need a new ride. I don't hang out with those people anymore.
Old Razzle Dazzle said, hey boys, we got the 2 roomies running the show today, which is always the best show, and you've got the resident New Home Leopard mixing the beats. Should be a good one. And Bullfighter said, you'll wear whatever I put your face on, Chob. Holy Diver by Dio. Can you start the song at 120-ish? And he got it there. Yeah, we got all 4 of us there.
Yeah, Jordan Ross.
Why does Gus look like a European model?
Gus, he's got a great face. He's got a great face for him.
He's got a great face.
I don't know that he has a great face to put on other people's faces. That's a little bit scary.
I take it back. He actually kind of looks like that scene from that song. Scott said, good afternoon, clean. little Buffalo Gus there.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Scott.
That big old fat person.
You told me to load this into my van. Good afternoon, Clint and Rob. Any dining recommendations for San Angelo?
Yeah. Is Zinner's Daughter still open?
I have only been through San Angelo. I would be zero help there.
Raising Cane's. There we go.
There you go. Boom.
I think it closed. Sorry, I don't have anything else.
Sorry, Scott. No help.
My bad.
I can tell you, what does Google say? San Angelo's top restaurants.
It's been a while since
I'm a huge fan of Roots at the Silo.
I want to say there was a breakfast place that everyone always told us to go to there.
Is it Urban Salt Kitchen and Bar? Perhaps Western Sky Steakhouse. That's not really a breakfast place. If I'm just going without any knowledge, which I would be right here, there is a place called Luigi's, which feels like boom or bust.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
But Zinner's Daughter was like the big steakhouse there, but I don't think it's open anymore.
The last one, something called Cork and Pig Tavern.
That's it.
Boom.
That's it. I've gotten a lot of recommendations for that place. I've never been, but I've gotten recommendations for that place.
So would you team for our official recommendation to Scott without knowing?
Cork and Pig.
Yeah, you can't go to San Angelo without.
I've
trying
always
Cork and Pig.
said you cannot go to San Angelo without going to Cork.
I've gone out of my way to go to San Angelo to go to Cork and Pig Tavern. So it's very good. This on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Somebody on the chat line said the Cork.
Yeah, that's the thing that came up all the time. But that's not the breakfast place. I do think they have like chicken and waffles and pizza and stuff, but
I feel like chicken and waffles had a real big like boom in the food movement, and then just like people stopped getting it and aren't talking about it again. So now it's gone back to like the underrated part. Solid. You have 4 quick turn. 4 players at the combine. Rob, if I told you one of those 4, just one, hopefully it's all 4 of them, just one of those 4 had a very, what we'd call a successful, maybe lengthy career, who would you think that was? And successful, whatever it means to you. Because to me, successful is just be in the league. Just be present.
Yeah, Jalen Conyers. Lengthy. I think Taj Brooks can, like, be Alfred Morris.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, get somewhere perfect storm kind of place in the 5th or 6th round. And then have a couple of 1,000-yard seasons and then kind of disappear. Go to 2 or 3 teams and get maybe one extra contract. But I think Jalen Conyers can have a solid career.
If you had given me those 4 that are at the combine, again, if you don't know, it's Caleb Rogers, Josh Kelly, Jalen Conyers, and Taj Brooks are 4 representatives as Red Raiders there. If you had told me, maybe not at the start of the season because we hadn't seen either Jalen Conyers or Josh Kelly as a Red Raider, but like halfway through, Josh Kelly feels like he's not being talked about enough because it just seems like wherever he goes, he's gonna fit in. Like, I can't think of a scheme in the NFL that just absolutely wouldn't work for Josh Kelly, or they couldn't find a spot on the field there for him. Now, if it's a case of somebody drafts him and they drafted him knowing they already have a lot of receivers and he just can't crack that, maybe. But I mean, if somebody drafts him the right way,
Dolphins, Ezukanma comes to mind.
Yeah, he should find a spot on the field. And so I'm just he to be fair, maybe not my pick in that because of that. He's not being talked about enough. I think Jalen Conyers would be my pick too. But really, I think there's not a bad answer there.
Yeah. Do we get Conyers tomorrow? Is that true on field? Is that the tight ends?
I believe so.
Excited.
We're getting lots of
roasted pork chop at the Cork and Pig. Looks pretty good.
We're getting a lot of San Angelo help for Scott. Give us your favorite San Angelo restaurants, as well as your favorite hair bands from the 80s on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. When we come back, it'll be a play of the day. You got us on Tech Talk on Double T 97.3.
The podcast put together with Red Raider fans in mind. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Happy Song Request Thursday. All I'm doing is not this. This is not count. Your theme today, 80s hair bands. Give us your favorites on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Clint Scott, Rob Breaux.
Any poison yet?
Thomas Dye. I don't think so. Have you sent him one? Have we missed what yours was?
I haven't.
We got some Europe coming a little bit later. I know that. You can also hit us up on the Yates Flooring Center chat line with whatever you got. You can also call us on the Visual Edge IT hotline, 806-771-0973. If you call that number, Thomas will tell you how to properly walk out of a theater and get your money back while seeing the entire movie. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Also a little shady. Speaking of Thomas, he has our play of the day.
Gillespie for 3. Goal or no. Holloman looks the clock. Half court for the win. Oh! Oh my goodness! Holloman from half court to win it on the road. We'll see the replay right here. That's clearly out of his hand. Trey Holloman, tough first half. Big time here in the second to rebound, make some plays, and then what a shot here on the road. I mean, that is well beyond half court.
Michigan State beats Maryland 58-55 on the road. Trey Holloman wins it by a half-court shot to end the game. The Spartans were led by Jace Richardson with 15 points, and Rodney Rice for Maryland had 20 points, but unfortunately came up just 3 seconds too short.
I totally forgot you were a Michigan State fan.
Just a little bit.
What an idiot Maryland guy.
Are you?
A little bit, yeah.
If it's tied and you have the ball with less than 10 seconds left and there's no play clock on,
Shot it, yeah.
It's either a tie or overtime.
Yep.
You know what was? Did you see the? Agreed. Did you see the sideline shot of this play, where it was like coming from behind Michigan State? I'm assuming whoever they thought they were gonna, make a big shot the play before that, because it's Michigan State, and then Maryland
State
has the shot, and then back to Michigan State.
Michigan State.
That's what I said, Robert. And the reaction of one Tom Izzo throughout that entire sequence was incredible.
Yeah.
Because he absolutely went through the wave of no. Oh my gosh, we're gonna lose this game, to okay, we're going to overtime, to oh my stars. We just hit a ridiculous buzzer beater. And that entire bench was very fun to watch. Am I making up that Scott Van Pelt noted he was actually there?
Yeah, the
Terrapins. I didn't get got
that was
by
him.
the not.
Oh, I believe that was him. David Collier said it was him this morning.
That's the
we'll
picture.
Trust David Collier. Yeah. That's him.
Okay. And then you probably had to do a show at some point after that.
Must have been off last night.
Good play. Yeah, that was really, really fun. This on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Any thoughts on what can be done about Lady Raider basketball? Do we need a new coach? I don't think Chavez commits to Tech, but if she does, is that going to solve anything? If you get Chavez to Tech, one, you get easily the most talented player you've had since the 90s. We don't have to compare talent between players, but easily the most standalone talented player. If I'm not saying she comes here and all of a sudden you're a championship contender, but you're way, way improved. With that, you'd like to think, talent attracts other talent. And so, it would make a huge difference if you got her.
I mean, if you put Aaliyah Chavez on this roster, you might win a game or two more.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you've been lacking offense. You've been
right, but
if you
put Aaliyah Chavez on the floor, are Shavers and Maupin both on the floor with her? You just take Fritz off the floor?
I think you'd find a way. It may not be. I mean, you're not doing it the entire game, but I think you find a way because.
So you think Chavez on this roster is 5 wins?
I mean, you've lost so many 1-score games,
Sure.
5-point games.
Sure. I think defensively, I don't think
it's overstating to say, I would not be shocked if there was a 4 to 5 game swing of what you've won and lost.
I'm very excited to see Aaliyah Chavez play offense with just one person in front of her.
Yeah.
She gets triple teamed every game. From half court, it's pretty awesome.
This on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. A restaurant can't resell a steak if it's not good and the restaurant didn't grow the beef. Same thing.
It's true.
Yeah, but if you want a refund on the steak, the restaurant was the one that cooked you the steak.
Movie theater put it in the DVD player.
I don't think it's just a DVD player.
Fairly certain it is now, except for maybe the IMAX.
Mm.
You think they're still doing reel-to-reel for? Or it's probably just
But it's
digital.
not just
it's probably just digital at this point.
Yeah, but it's not a DVD player, though.
I'm sure it's just streaming now. I'm sure they don't even have DVDs.
The theater that is in Greensburg, Kansas might be using VHS, though, to be fair.
Yeah, or it's still reel-to-reel, maybe. I just don't know that they make those anymore.
Well, they are actually still in black and white at that one. So,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
They show new movies, but it's just black and white.
Like, here outside of Kiowa County, they have these things called talkies. We got a She Ain't Coming, and Sooner in Lubbock said, I have a feeling she's going to South Carolina. We'll know on March 25th. It is you, South Carolina, Texas, and Oklahoma. I will say, I mean, I do think you are in the running, and it's not just you're there because she's being nice to the school that's in her hometown. But I don't know what percentage it is. And you're with some heavy hitters.
If Aaliyah Chavez doesn't come to Texas Tech, I don't think it's because they weren't competitive in the NIL space. I think they have one of, if not the most competitive NIL bids. But I will say this. She's very involved in Nike already. Mm-hmm. And there's 2 Nike schools in that list of 4.
Yeah. And that, I mean, whenever there was the whole Under Armour to Adidas change, for me, that was a big reason why I was excited for the Adidas change. I mean, yeah, uniform, whatever. That they do play a huge part in, I mean, they're not like they're just like, hey, we're going to be the reason you get a kid or not, but there's a little bit of sway in there. I mean, I think we'd be blind not to say that. And for me, that was a big reason why I was excited about the brand change, because you were, I'm not trying to take shots at Under Armour, but they're not the brand that Adidas is, especially in basketball. So, I mean, it's not, I don't think that's a good point with the Nike to Nike connection.
Yeah. And there's a Jordan school in there with Oklahoma and a Nike school with Texas. So if I was in the predictive world here, which I guess I am, I would predict one of those 2 schools. I still hope it's Texas Tech. I would put South Carolina 4th, honestly.
I don't know if I'd put him 4th.
What would you put? Who would you put 4th?
Oklahoma. Sooner and Lubbock's right there in the chat line. It is Tech Talk on Double T 97.3. Keep hitting us up on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. When we come back, we're going to make some picks. It is Tech Talk Locks on the other side. You can also play along with that. More next here on Double T 97.3.
The podcast put together with Red Raider fans in mind. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
It is Tech Talk here on Double T 97.3, DoubleTSportsNetwork.com, and don't forget about the mobile app, brought to you by Happy State Bank. Clint, Rob, Thomas, we're all hanging out with you. It is a song request Thursday. Your theme, 80s hair bands. Give us those on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. DJ Tommy Tom will pump them out as he's done all show long. I have just discovered here in this seat, in the break, there is some form of drippage. Looks like perhaps a shake.
Yes,
that was here
smoothie
at,
maybe.
Maybe a smoothie.
Around 7 a.m.
It's very dry. I feel like a detective. No one touch it. It's evidence.
Rope it off.
I wonder if anyone else, because there's been 2 other people that have...
Yeah, I sat there for 3 hours.
Did you didn't notice it?
No.
I wonder if Choice noticed it. That's interesting. Oh.
Yeah. Well, there's some Clorox wipes over there. We can figure that out in the break.
Yeah, we've got a job for Thomas in the break.
I'm seeing somebody left open the lid.
Probably dried out.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. We're taking care of things here at Raymer. Let's find out what's going on. Oh, I didn't tell Thomas. Just sing 4 non-blondes. Hey, guys, you got it. You were good too.
Team player.
Oh, man. At this point, I wish you wouldn't have found it. You were about to commit. All right, gentlemen. Most of the time we play Guess the State here, but I found this list, and I'm just curious on your thoughts, if you guys have an answer to this. So there has been a list of a question that was asked to the internet, the whole interwebs, and a lot of people replied. We have here the top... It's always weird when they do a number like this, the top 16.
Sure, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Could have just been the top 15.
Right.
The question was, what is the dumbest thing people take pride in?
Yeah.
And really the answer is, what is the dumbest thing that people brag about?
Yeah.
Do you have an answer that you hear that? Not like I brag about this, but you hear someone and you start rolling your eyes.
Yeah, like I would assume this list is going to be full of like being a vegan, CrossFit.
Oh, the vegan one's good. Like Josh will not shut up about being a vegetarian.
It's like we get it, dude.
You eat vegetables.
You eat more vegetables than us.
Although I'm not sure that's true. I think it's a lot of cheese and bread.
Yeah, and often at the same time.
Almost like a cheese pizza. Yeah. That one's really good. Just like I think of the vegan stereotype.
Yeah.
Thomas, do you have anything like that you can think of?
Not really, no.
Mine is people that brag about how fast they drive all the time.
Oh, that's a good one.
Am I a slow driver? No, but also I'm just like, if you're going over there, oh man, I only drive 15 over. All right.
Yeah.
Be safe out there.
Easy, hot rod.
Let's dive into this. I'm going to breeze through some of these.
Okay.
Tell me when you want to stop and talk about one. Number 16, I'll just say the body count. Number 15 is their lawn.
Yeah, like a little grass talk, but it can get over cumbersome, yeah.
I'll say this. If I had a lawn to be proud of, I would fall into this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Tell me if you do any of these things.
Right.
Yeah, I think if you put work into your lawn, you should be proud of it.
Right.
But if that's like, if you unroll like your wallet and it's a bunch of photos of your lawn, like instead of kids. So, yeah.
I had a Twitter bit one year where I did grow with bro and tried to fix my little front lawn in my apartment.
Really?
Didn't go well.
How'd that go?
Grow with bro, yeah.
This is preaching to the wrong crowd on this list right here. Number 14 is the performance of sports teams.
I was going to say that because there are some people who take like real pride in their personal life when things go well. Like the we beat you guys last year kind of thing. Like, well, your team did. You weren't playing.
I fall into that.
Yeah.
Especially with the professional leagues that I root for, I'm a we guy.
Yeah, but it's
not
I don't mind
hardcore.
saying we.
It's not every single time.
Yeah,
but
I mean you're invested. I understand the we like just in general conversation, but there's a line, and I think what that's talking about, I do notice that at times.
How about bragging about always being right, even in cases where they might not be?
Doesn't sound familiar.
I like this one. People that brag about being brutally honest, especially when it's more just about them being brutal than being honest.
Yeah.
Hey, if they won't say it, I will. I'm the only one that has the cojones to say what won't be said around here.
Yeah, we're a truth-telling program around here.
Sorry, you don't have the stones. The number of followers they have on social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you pull that out.
Right.
Unfollow. Never cooking because they aren't good at it. That's number 10 on this list.
Yeah, what a thing to brag about. Learn how to boil water. What are we doing?
Number 9, bragging about not ever changing their kids' diapers. I don't know anyone that's bragging about this.
Well, that's probably like a dad thing. Like
sure.
Yeah.
Change your kids' diapers.
Well, I don't care if they do or not, but...
I mean, if they're going to be around me, please. Number 8, drinking and driving. Yeah, don't do that or brag about it. Number 7 is just drinking or smoking a lot. Bragging about that.
Yeah.
Number 6, people that brag about being so busy.
That one's annoying sometimes.
5, people that brag about how unhealthy they are.
Okay.
Number 4, people that brag that they... Is this really... I guess. People that brag... or take pride in not sleeping enough.
Yeah.
Number 3, working themselves to death and not taking time for themselves. Number 2, not knowing how to use computers or any tech or caring to learn the basics and take pride in it. And number 1, the internet has spoken and said the dumbest thing that people take pride in or brag about is when people are proud to say they don't read or haven't read a book since high school.
I feel like a Gen Z person was right in the last 4 or 5. Yeah. They're just mad at boomers.
Thomas, yeah. Is this your list?
No, but I do the number 1 one.
Might do that in the break. It's Tech Talk on Double T 97.3.
It's every Red Raiders' favorite podcast. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3. Presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Signature Stag, your one-stop man shop for legendary game day gear. Solving life's mysteries one at a time.
When I go to the restroom after having a few pops in my acid-washed overalls, when I go into that restroom after about 10 beers, urinal to the floor, I'm going pants down to the ankles.
Hey there, Mr. Wiener. What do you know? Do you need to tinkle? Yes, I do think so.
This is Tech Talk on Double T 97.3.
Hour number 3 of Tech Talk. Thank you for joining us today. Clint Scott, Rob Breaux in for Dr. Mike Gustafson, Thomas Dye in for Brennan Riker. You can give us your favorite 80s hairband songs on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Happy Song Request Thursday. You can also call us on the Visual Edge IT hotline, 806-771-0973. Don't forget about Ask Tech Talk. That'll be here at the end of hour number 3, 5:45 for that. Questions about whatever is on the top or bottom of your mind. Front or back?
Middle.
Maybe like
The
like
recesses, the dark recesses.
Yeah.
Into the mind palace and pull something from deep within.
When I was growing up, we had some dark recesses. Mostly because there was this gang of turkeys that would, like, for like a year, they were around there. There's a shelter belt. This is a very small town. And there were 3 toms specifically that if they weren't, I mean, they wouldn't like drag us off into the woods or anything like that, but they chased us a lot as kids. I remember having to like cancel a couple of recesses because I couldn't like shoo the turkeys away.
Yeah, I nearly was murdered by a gang of ravenous geese as a child.
Mm-hmm. Also mean.
Bunch of grackles around my school too. I hate those birds.
If I told you there was a group of 20 grackles, how many legs do you think would be between the 20? Because usually you'd go like normal things, you do math, you'd go 40, right? You just double it. I feel like you're rocking a 50% rate of grackles in like Walmart parking lots that just have one leg for some reason.
Never noticed. I try to stay away from them.
Next time if you're in a parking lot like that, just do a leg count.
No. I'm driving away.
I mean, if you're in a parking lot.
No, if I pull up into a parking lot and there's 20 grackles standing there,
You won't go into the store?
No.
They bother you that much?
No, I'll go to Target.
Okay.
There's
grackles over there, too.
No, I'm not dealing with those grackles.
All right.
I walked out of here the other day. 172 grackles flew over my head, and I almost went back in the building.
I'm not leaving.
I got to my car,
I've
but
been working overtime.
Yeah.
Really? That bothered by grackles?
Just,
what happened to you?
Well, in 2023, I was walking, taking a walk. 22 probably. And I got dive bombed by a grackle. And
a grack attack?
Yeah, grack attack. It slapped me in the face with its dumb, dirty wing.
Grack slap.
And then followed me. It followed me from your apartment, basically, to my apartment. And, I'm not running away. So I'm just walking my pace, right? And this grackle would fly from tree to tree. There's trees all the way down that street. Would fly tree to tree and then dive bomb me every time. It slapped me in the back of the head and the forehead with its dumb, dirty wings. So I just don't deal with grackles anymore.
I've never heard anybody get attacked by a grackle before.
This thing was upset that I was in his territory. Or her. I don't know.
It feels like you could have won that fight if you wanted.
I crossed the street. It was like, oh, maybe this is their tree here. Maybe they have kids around. No. Slap me on that side too. I mean, I took a couple swings. Like I didn't go out like just... like that, but I didn't connect like he did.
The second time a bird, if I think I can take it, comes after me, I'm probably standing my ground at that point.
Well, I mean, I did, and it kept dive bombing me. What are you going to do? I like my eyes. I want to get pecked.
Are you sure this was a grackle?
What else would it have been?
I don't know.
A drone?
It sounds like you were being blinded by the birds. Yeah, it was a drone. Birds aren't real anyways. Scott said this on the chat line. Taj reminds me of Brian Westbrook, kind of under the radar, but a workhorse in all areas of the game. Not sure he will ever be a star, but could see him being a long-time utility back for someone. Yeah, I think Taj could have a very long career. You know, the thing that separates him, and at this point, I think it was a couple of weeks ago we were talking about this, and someone was like, "Oh, well, that's always like the fallback because we're trying to promote Taj," and I was like, "No, it's not a fallback. It's just something that he's really good at, and it's something that is really important in today's NFL. And is, if you notice, like how running backs are viewed and what's talked about them, is something that will set him apart from other backs, and that is his pass protection. It's a guy also that you can lean on for short yards, and I'm not sure if he, in the NFL, if he can be like a true quote-unquote feature back, but true quote-unquote feature backs really aren't a thing anymore anyways. I mean, more teams lean on towards running back by committee. They might have the guy that they lean on more, but like his skill set absolutely transitions to the NFL. I do think, though, and this you can go from any position, I think fit for him will be a big conversation. And not just like scheme fit, but I mean just organization of who takes him.
Yeah, like 49ers, Steelers. Mm-hmm. I set out for Morris earlier as my pro comp for Taj. Here's a current one. James Conner.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I think it's a good one.
Not a lot of breakaway speed, but power, patience. 3-down back.
What organization scares you the most for any? Let's just do Taj.
The Jets.
But yes, I went to.
Yeah.
I have zero faith in the Jets right now.
Yeah, Jets, Browns, Panthers.
The Browns, I think it depends on the position. I mean, they're a mess all the way around. But could he like stand out enough?
Running back for the Browns potentially, but I just don't want him around that situation.
That's fair. I think that's fair. Just in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cowboy.
You don't want him to be a Cowboy?
I don't know, man.
Seriously, if he was drafted in the 5th round by the Cowboys,
I'd be happy.
Yeah. Overall,
I'd be happy.
I don't view that as like a bad landing spot, but
they need a running back.
Yeah.
Be a good fit for him.
It will be interesting to see who's blocking in front of him if he got drafted there. It is Tech Talk on Double T 97.3. What's worse, Cowboy Talk or Grackles?
Grackles.
There you go. That's good positivity. Still hanging on there with the Cowboys. It's Tech Talk on Double T 97.3.
Both make me want to go blind.
This has been the Tech Talk Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.